In a congressional hearing meant to tackle judicial ethics, no one expected the temperature to drop, and we mean that literally and politically, when Judge Samuel Alito locked eyes with Representative Jasmine Crockett and let out a laugh. But it wasn't just any laugh, it was a mocking laugh, a controversial laugh, a laugh that sparked a 62-second silence that made every member of Congress freeze in their seats. This is the story of how a question about a degree turned Capitol Hill into a war zone of pride, power, and political humiliation. Scene 1, the hearing room morning. The committee room is packed. Media, senators, House members, and at the center of it all, Justice Samuel Alito, sitting behind a tall wooden desk, his face unreadable. At the opposing table, Representative Jasmine Crockett, sharp in her tone, sharper in her words, and famous for her nonsense interrogations. Camera pans to Crockett's face. Crockett calmly, Justice Alito, with all due respect, it appears your recent opinions not only undermine democracy but insult the intelligence of those who've spent decades studying constitutional law. Alito tilting his head. And what degree would that be referring to? Congresswoman Crockett, my Juris Doctor, earned not inherited. Alito chuckling, ah yes, that online law program. Gasps across the chamber. Representative Bowman whispering, no, he didn't. Alito louder now, forgive me, I must have missed which Ivy League. Prestige produced your constitutional expertise. And then he laughed, not a smile, not a scoff, a full-bodied, sarcastic laugh. Scene to the 62 seconds. The room fell silent. Staffers paused mid-scroll. Senators turned. Cameras zoomed in. The freeze began. 1 second. 2 seconds. 3. Narrator VO. What was about to happen next? No one expected. Certainly not Justice Alito. Scene 3. Crockett strikes back. Crockett leaning forward. Deadly calm. You know what's funny, Justice? That laugh right there. It speaks louder than your decades of rulings. Alito, slightly caught off guard. Crockett continuing, I didn't need Harvard to know when a man hides behind a robe to flex what little dignity he has left. Gasps Crockett. And if you'd done your homework, sir, not the kind that comes with a legacy name and a country club recommendation, you'd know that my law degree came from the Thurgood Marshall School of Law, a school named after someone whose integrity you wouldn't recognize if it sat on your bench. Alito's face tightens. Crockett voice rising. You see, the difference between us isn't where we studied, it's why we studied. You learned the law to protect the elite. I learned the law to defend the people you ignore. Scene for Media Reacts MSNBC panel. Minutes later anchor, we've just witnessed what some are calling a Crockett clapback for the ages. Justice Alito mocked her degree and paid the price. Legal analyst. This wasn't just a takedown, it was a historic reckoning. The court's image just took another blow. Scene 5. The aftermath. Speaker of the House private chamber. Get Crockett out of the hearing room before this turns into a media circus. To her aide, too late. The circus showed up when Alito opened his mouth. Narrator VO. But the fallout wasn't just verbal. Within 24 hours, social media erupted. Scene 6. Social media firestorm. Twitter X trends. Hashtag Crockett vs Alito. #fake degree. My foot. #Thurgood would be proud. TikTok. Clip with 2 meters views. Crockett's fiery stare and I didn't need Harvard becomes a viral sound. Scene 7. Congress froze. Literally. Narrator VO. Back in the hearing room. Something strange happened after Crockett's monologue. No one spoke. Not for 62 seconds. The clock ticked. Even the air vents stopped humming. No one coughed. No phones rang. Every lawmaker frozen. Because truth, when it hits hard, paralyzes power. Chairman finally speaking. 62 seconds later. Let's take a recess. Scene 8. Behind closed doors. Alito to clerk. Furious, she embarrassed the court. That kind of disrespect should be sanctioned. Clerk, sir, respectfully, it was you who laughed first. Scene 9. Back in the spotlight. Narrator VO. Crockett didn't back down. Instead, she stepped into every camera frame available. Crockett on CNN. If defending my degree means defending every student who didn't come from privilege, I'll do it every single day. Crockett on The View. It's time we stop letting robes become shields for outdated egos. Scene 10. The response from legal scholars. Harvard professor on MSNBC. Judge Alito should apologize. Period. Mocking someone's degree is not only elitist, it's irrelevant to judicial competence. Howard Law Dean. Representative Crockett's composure, credentials, and command of constitutional law speak volumes. Judge Alito's laugh only exposed his fear. Scene 11. The GOP reacts. Senator Cruz on Fox. This was a staged performance. Crockett wanted to go viral, and the media gave her exactly that. Representative Green, fake degrees, fake outrage. Same Democrat playbook. Scene 12. Democrats rally Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I stand with Jasmine. Elitism has no place in our legal system. Senator Warren. That 62-second silence, that was respect and fear. Because truth silences even the loudest arrogance. Scene 13. Justice in Review. Narrator VO. What began as a scheduled hearing on judicial accountability turned into something much deeper. It became a reckoning of race-class the invisible walls built in America's elite institutions. Because when a black woman with a Texas drawl and a public university degree levels the gavel against a Supreme Court justice, the country listens. And sometimes Congress freezes. Ending triumph. Music fades in. Narrator VO. Was Alito wrong for laughing? Was Crockett right to clap back? Or did we all witness something more? A shift. A moment where degrees didn't define worth, but truth did. So next time someone laughs at your roots, remember Jasmine Crockett. Remember the freeze. And remember, real degrees don't need validation from fake respect.